Okay, you guys, so here is my vanity area, and as you can see, it's not the tidiest and most organized place ever, and that is why I wanted to declutter it, because I don't really use a lot of the other makeup products daily, so I really wanted to declutter and minimize what I have in my collection. So let's start here. I have some sponges, my brushes, some brow tools, eyeliners, my skincare stuff. These are new lipsticks that I need to film like a video of. Those are things that I'm trying to use up, which I'll probably declutter today as well. And those are just some clutter. And then some foundation, concealer, lipsticks, powders, blushes, and whatnot. And then underneath that, I have makeup that I haven't used as well. And then down there, I just have like hair care stuff, nail polish, and whatnot. So we're not gonna go into that. But then here, I have all my eyeshadow palettes. So yeah, we have a lot to go through, so let's start. Okay, so let's start with my complexion products. I have some primers, foundation, concealers, and all that jazz, all that face stuff in here. So let's start with these. These are products that I'm actually trying to use up. This is the first item. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I am in the shade NC40, and I usually put this in my, whatchamacallit, in my gym bag, so I definitely get a lot of use out of this, and it applies really well using a flat kabuki brush. So this is what I like to use when I don't have access to water to use like a beauty blender. I like this because it has a natural medium coverage look, so I definitely love this for every day at work, so I'm definitely keeping that. Then I have my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I also love this, but I've had this for more than a year now, so I might actually have to declutter this, and this is one of my favorites, but like I said, it's already expired, and I have other medium to full coverage foundations that are quite new in my collection. Next, we have the Estee Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. Love this for a full coverage look. I use this all the time whenever I have like a special occasion or an event to attend to, because I know that it will not budge and it will look the same throughout the whole day. But like the Too Faced Born This Way, I've had this for more than a year now. I think almost 2 years, so I think it's time to let this go and probably buy a new one. But since I have the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation, which is also full coverage, I don't really need a new full coverage foundation, so I'm definitely keeping the Fenty Beauty because this is new, and then the Estee Double Wear I'm going to declutter because this is, like I said, expired. So Fenty Beauty, I just did a review on this. It's still in the box because I wanted to keep it in the box just to tell myself that, hey, you still have new products and don't buy a new, like a newer foundation. So yeah, but I probably should pull this out of the box now since I'm already decluttering the Estee Double Wear. Love this too. It's more full coverage than the Anastasia Beverly Hills full coverage foundation, but it still has that hydrating, radiant look to it. So I'm definitely going to keep this and this as well because they're both new, and this one is for my full coverage look, and this one will replace my Too Faced Born This Way. So these are the items I'm keeping, and then these are the items I'm decluttering. So I'm trying to like keep it all organized here. Let's move these. Okay, next in the foundation, I have this Il Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation. I really think that this has a similar formula to the Too Faced Born This Way, but not as full coverage. So I might have to declutter this. This is quite new. I just got this year. I really wanted to try it because I got served so much ads for this, but then at the end of the day, I already have something similar to this, so I am also decluttering this. All-time favorite Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade number 235. Whenever I do like simple everyday drugstore looks, this is the foundation that I tend to go for. It's the dewy and smooth one, not the matte and poreless, because like I said, I do have dry skin. So yeah, definitely keeping this for my drugstore looks. Next, we have the Maybelline Super Stay foundation. Contrary to popular belief, I don't really love this. I got this in the shade number 220, which I think is a little too cool for my skin tone. So I'm going to have to declutter this. I don't know what it is, but I guess for my dry skin, it just didn't work out for me. I have the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation. I also love this because it has a nice radiant hydrated look. I don't really gravitate toward this anymore, so I'm going to have to declutter it. Although I love it, it's really nice if you have dry skin, but if you have like an oily skin, this is going to be too hydrating for you. Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I love this. I have this in the shade Buff Bisque, and this is perfect for my summer shade. And this is the foundation that I use whenever I create drugstore full glam looks because it has a great coverage. It was one of the first foundations that claimed that it had no flashbacks. Definitely keeping that for my drugstore looks. Last foundation. Oh no, I have 3 more actually. So next up is the Juvia's Place Eye Magic Foundation. I also love this. This is a nice dupe to the Estee Double Wear. It's only $20 and it's kind of like a higher end drugstore pricing, but the quality is really good. It does not budge. It stays in place the whole day. And even though it is a matte finish, my dry skin does not break out or cake up or clog with this foundation. One of my favorites, one and done products, the It Cosmetics CC Cream. It has SPF 50. It has a nice radiant finish when you apply it. And like I said, if you're too lazy to put on sunscreen, just go with this one. It has a great coverage. Sometimes I don't even apply concealer after using this because I just feel like it corrects everything on my face. So definitely keeping that. The Maybelline foundation that everybody thought was going to be a dupe for the It Cosmetics CC Cream. In my opinion, it isn't because it doesn't have that nice radiant finish. But I do like it for like easier, I'm just going to run to the grocery store kind of look. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or get rid of it. It is also in the shade number 220, which is a little too light for me. So okay, let's declutter. So these are all the foundations that I am going to donate, if I can still donate them or give them away. And then these are all the foundations that I am going to keep. Next up is primers. So I have the Physicians Formula Spotlight Primer, and this is very similar to the Backlight Primer. The formula of it, the finish, as you can see, it has that nice sheen, just like the Backlight Primer, but I don't really gravitate toward this because I don't know, whenever I use a primer, I like using my high-end primers, so I should probably declutter this because somebody else could use this. Next, Hydra Touch Oil Primer. This is a dupe for like the Smashbox one. I used this like once or twice. I like it, but it takes a while to set in my skin, and whenever I'm getting ready in the morning, it's definitely not practical because you're in a hurry and you still have to wait for this to set. So I'm definitely getting rid of this. JCat Beauty Makeup Primer Spray. I love this. It's almost gone, so I'm just going to use this up. I might actually repurchase this because I love this whenever I'm using like a powder foundation underneath it. It just really does a great job hydrating my face and making sure that the powder sticks to my face as well. So keeping that, and I'm going to use that up. Too Faced Hangover RX Primer. At first, I love this because I really like how it is hydrating. It feels like a lotion for my face, a really thin moisturizer in my opinion. I don't think it helps with the longevity of my makeup, so I think it's time to let this go. Actually, it's almost gone, so I'm just going to finish this up, but I definitely wouldn't repurchase this because I want a primer that hydrates my face, enhances the longevity of my makeup as well. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer. I love this. It also has that dewy formula. I like mixing this in with like my NYX Angel Veil Primer. Gives my face a nice dewy look underneath my foundation. Probably should get rid of this. This might be expired. I forgot when I purchased this, or I don't remember if this is actually a new primer. So I might have to declutter this. Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. I got this, I think it was from a Sephora order. It's a sample sized one. I definitely don't see the difference of this and my Wet n Wild Dewy primer, so I'm definitely gonna declutter this because it's just, I think it's already so old that when I rub it on my skin, it kind of has like white things on it. I don't know, but yeah, definitely decluttering. First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer. That was a mouthful, but I love this. It really does moisturize your face, and similar to the Wet n Wild Dewy Primer, it adds that glow underneath your foundation. But I've had this for a while now, so definitely letting go of this. These are just some Jouer foundation samples that I wanted to do a review of, like the Jouer foundation and test out the Jouer foundation. So I decided to like get samples for every order so that I can actually test it out and cover my entire face. So it just has like the samples in there, so definitely keeping that because I still need to film that video. I have a Hello Happy Mini. I love this foundation for like really easy looks, and I like keeping this in whenever I travel and I feel like using a liquid foundation. This is what I bring, but if I'm like going to a special occasion, I don't recommend this because this is more of a sheer coverage daily foundation. So yeah, definitely keeping that because that's kind of new. So I have this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's still unopened, so it goes to show how much interest I have in this product. So I'm definitely just decluttering this because I have so much other primers that I can use. So I have the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. To be honest, I don't see the difference of this compared to my e.l.f. Putty Primer. I love my e.l.f. Putty Primer for my nose because it just smooths it out and it keeps my nose matte for hot, humid days. So I'm definitely keeping that. But the Tatcha Silk Canvas, I just don't get it. I don't get the hype of it. So I'm going to have to declutter this. I know. What? Don't worry, I'm gonna give it away or something. It won't go to waste. e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. Love this for like hot, humid days. I don't know what it is. They say it's a dew primer, like it makes your face dewy, but for me it doesn't. They say it's a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip primer, and I haven't tried that yet. I really feel that it helps make my foundation latch onto my face or stick on my face, so definitely keeping that for like a full coverage, long day makeup of some sort. This is the Becca First Light Primer. I love this. I'm almost out of it, as you can see, so I'm definitely just finishing that up, and then I'll bring out a new primer to use for my base. Now for concealers. Oh, I have a L'Oreal Age Perfect. This is also a freebie, so I'm gonna let go of that one. So now I have the Tarte Concealer. This is just a sample size from Sephora. I really love this as well, but then I ended up purchasing the full size of the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So this might have to wait for next year, but I really love the coverage and finish of this as well. It has a similar formula to the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's medium coverage, medium to full coverage, but with a radiant dewy finish. Now for concealers, I have a lot. Oh, I still have like one Becca First Light Primer, so I might have to finish that first before opening a new one. So I have quite a lot of concealers, and I definitely need... Oh, sorry, last foundation. This is the Makeup Revolution Fast-Based Foundation Stick. Have this for a year now. It's really nice, but I don't recommend it if you have oily skin because it really has a dewy, radiant finish. I really love this, but I think I need to let it go. Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I'm just trying to finish this because this is one of my favorite concealers. I'll probably let go of this in October because I feel like it's starting to look funky. So I've had this for more than a year now. I think more than a year this time of the year, so just trying to use it all up as much as I can so that I don't waste that much product. Almost time to let go of that one. And then my Tarte Shape Tape, I've had this for more than a year now, so I don't use this for my under eye anymore, but to not waste any product, I use this to carve out my brows, and it still works out perfectly fine for that. So yeah, keeping that. So I have the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in like the shade Fair because I use this for like cut crease and any fun creative looks. I also have the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium. I honestly don't really love this, but I just use it for like cut crease, for like priming my lid, but I probably should let this go. Somebody else could use it. Fenty Beauty Hydrating Concealer. I like this. It has a good coverage, doesn't dry out my under eyes too much, so definitely keeping this. Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. Very hydrating, but I do find that it has a tendency to set in my lines, so I'm gonna get rid of this. e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, one of my favorite drugstore concealer. It has a full coverage look and it doesn't look cakey on my under eyes even though I have dry skin. So for that, I really love this, and it's only $5. Can you believe that? I think, yeah, $5. LA Girl Pro Conceal HD Concealer. I used to love this, but I don't like the applicator for this. It has like a brush tip, and that is something that I don't really love. So, and I've had this for a while as well, so I'm definitely getting rid of this. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. Pretty sure I've had this for about 2 years now. So as you can see, like the labeling is starting to like rub off because like I said, I've had it for almost 2 years. So it's time to let that go. Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I've had this for almost 3 years now. So again, time to let that go. Benefit Boying Cakeless Concealer. I love this. It's a nice little travel size one that I can bring with me and keep in my purse if ever I need one. Actually, not in my purse, in my makeup bag whenever I travel, just to save some space. So definitely keeping that. I have other products that's not here because it's in my gym makeup bag. So just so you guys know, I'll have a separate video for that one. But anyway, Benefit Boying Brightening Concealer. I don't really gravitate toward this, so I'm gonna let this go. Benefit Boying Industrial Strength Concealer. I also don't use this, so letting that go. Benefit Boying Airbrush Concealer. This I love because I can easily apply this using my finger. So this is one that I would keep in my purse in case I need some emergency concealing. So definitely keeping that. Last concealer is the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. I love this. It has the same coverage as my Tarte Shape Tape, but a little bit more hydrating. And I love the metal tip applicator. I definitely feel like it's cooling to the eyes, but this is almost on its 1 year mark, and I don't really gravitate toward this anymore, so I might have to let go of this. So this is everything that I'm going to keep for my complexion products. So now I'm going to put them back in the container. everything that I'm keeping for my complexion products. And these are the products that I'm going to either donate, sell, give away, or whatnot. Okay, so now I have all my powders right here. I have highlighters, blushes, bronzers, and a lot of face powder. So let's start with the face powders. First up, we have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. I like this for setting my under eyes. Other than that, I don't like it for my entire face. It has kind of like a white cast, which I like for my under eyes because it makes it brighter. But for my entire face, it just makes my entire face look lighter than my body. So I'm still going to keep this because, like I said, I like using it for my under eye area. Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is actually one of my favorite powders, so definitely keeping this. I'm trying to use this all up so I can get a new one. As you can see, it's almost gone, so that's a good sign. Definitely don't know if I need like a high-end powder anymore just because this one is so good. Then I have the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. Also love this. I've been using this recently for my under eye area, but I can also use this for my entire face because it doesn't have a white cast. It makes my face look super smooth. I'm more than halfway through with this, so definitely keeping this and definitely going to keep on using that. This is the Lancome Long Time No Shine Setting Powder. I actually don't like this powder because I feel like it's too light for me, so I'm definitely getting rid of this. But it does make your face look smooth, so it just doesn't suit my skin tone. This is the Pretty Vulgar Powder Room Matte Loose Powder. So like I said, I have dry skin, so I don't really like super matte formulas. This one is actually still closed, so I'm going to just sell this on Poshmark because I haven't really opened this. And I don't really need a new powder since I have like these three right here, which suits all of my needs. So for pressed powder, I have the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. I love this for setting my eyeshadow primer because it's actually translucent. It doesn't have any white cast to it, so it's just perfect to set your eyeshadow primer. I don't really use this to set my face. Then I have the J-Cut Beauty Aqua Assurance Powder Foundation, and it's all like messed up now. I don't know what happened. I must have dropped this or something, but this is one of my favorite powder foundations because it has a great coverage while not making my face look dry or not caking up my skin. So since it's already broken, I might have to let go of this. The new Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder, and in the shade Honey. I like it. It's nice, but like I said, I already have these three that actually does everything that I need, so I might just have to declutter this. I used this just once. Then I have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Stick in the shade Call Me Maple. I love this if I wanted to go for like a more cream contour and more natural contour, but I've had this for more than 3 years now, and as you can see, it like the labeling is rubbing off, so it's time to declutter this. Then I have this e.l.f. Blush and Contour Powder Duo. This is in the shade Fiji. I love this for my drugstore looks. The Fiji shade is just a nice neutral blush, and then the contour is also a nice cool tone for just carving out your cheek area. I love using this for more of my drugstore look, and I'm almost about to hit pan on it, so I'm just going to keep using this until I run out. Then I have the BH Cosmetics Bronzer. To be honest, I feel like this is too dark for me. I did a review on it. I said that it was really pigmented. I said it in the review, it's a little too pigmented for my liking, so I'm definitely, somebody else might like it, so let's let it go. Then we have the e.l.f. Matte Bronzing Powder. This is in the shade Forever Sunkissed, which is a little too light for my skin, but I really love this because it's just a nice matte bronzer just to warm up your face. But like I said, it's a little too light for my skin tone. It could pass as a powder foundation, so I might have to let go of this. Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer. Just got this. I really love it because it adds the perfect warmth after applying some contour on my skin. I got this in the shade Island Thing, and I think it's a perfect shade to layer on top of my contour powder. This is one of my favorite drugstore bronzers. This is from the brand Wet n Wild in the shade Sunset Striptease. Already hit pan on it. As you can see, it has a little bit of shimmer to it, but not a lot of glitter, so I'm definitely keeping this because I like this for my drugstore looks. Now let's go to our highlighters and blushes. Maybelline Master Chrome Highlighter. I have this in the shade Molten Gold and Molten Rose Gold. I love this both, so I'm definitely keeping them. I feel like I'm gonna have a hard time decluttering my highlighters. Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. This is limited edition, and this is my perfect highlighter. I use this for almost every look because it goes with almost every look. It gives my cheeks a nice wet sheen. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's just a nice, really neutral pop of shimmer without going overboard. Then I have the ColourPop and Disney Villains highlighter. This one is Hades. I used this once for like a video or a makeup look, I think. It still has like the plastic on there. And then I just don't use it that much. I like the formula. It's really creamy and I think I need to... Oh, it's actually nice. Maybe I'll keep it and try to use this still because now that I've swatched it again, I really like it. I just don't use it that much. Then I have the e.l.f. and Heart Defensor collaboration. That's Heart is one of the first YouTubers that I ever watched here on YouTube. And she's also a Filipina, so I definitely wanted to support her. I immediately purchased this as soon as I saw this at Ulta, and even though I don't gravitate toward this all the time, I still love it. It has like a coffee and cream highlighter. You can actually blend those two together to get a better shade. So next highlighter, I have the Essence Pure Nude highlighters. I have the Sunlighter and the regular Be My Highlight. I still use this time and time again, so I'm definitely keeping that. I've had this for more than 3 years now, but I don't think it breaks me out, so I don't know. I still love it for my drugstore everyday look, so I'm keeping that. But this one I don't really use that much. I thought this was the right shade for me because it's a little bit darker, but I find that it's too dark for my skin, so I'm definitely gonna declutter this. Have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. This is in the shade Golden Flower Crown, and I have this in the shade Precious Petals as well. I love this for a more sheer, not sheer, because I like Master Chrome for like more full glam look, so this one is for my more everyday look. See, I told you I'm gonna have a hard time decluttering my highlighters. Then I have the 3 of the Sunny's Face cream highlighters. Definitely keeping those because I love them and they were gifts for me. Next, I have these mini Becca highlighter in the shade Moonstone. I don't really use this all too often, so I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to let that go. Then I have the NARS highlighter in the shade Capri. I also love this, but I just find that it's too small. I like it because it's super cute, but I just don't use it that much, so I might have to declutter this as well. Then I have this Milk Makeup highlighter. I also don't use this. I don't know what shade this is. Oh, it's actually, I don't think I've used this, so maybe I shouldn't swatch it. So definitely letting go of that. ColourPop Loose highlighter in the shade Aura Raw. Yeah, ColourPop Luster Dust. I also love this because it's super duper pigmented and it doesn't look too glittery on my cheekbones, but it's kind of messy, although I still love it, so I'm going to keep that. e.l.f. Jelly Pop highlighter, not Jelly Pop, e.l.f. Jelly highlighter. Also love this for underneath my foundation to give it a more natural glow, so keeping that. And now we're off to blushes. I just got this one. This one is an e.l.f. blush and I don't really have this shade yet, so that's why I decided to get it. This is in the shade Blushing Rose. It's kind of just a Actually, initially I thought it was similar to my Milani Baked Blush in Berry Amore. Yeah, Berry Amore. And now that looking at it, I think this one is a little lighter and then this one is a little bit darker for more nighttime look. So definitely keeping both. Then I have a NARS liquid blush and hopefully this is still in good shape. I definitely need to pull this out and keep using it because it might actually expire on me. I also love this because it just gives my face that kind of, how do I say this? Yung parang kinilig na look. But yeah. Then I still have an open blush. This is also Milani and this is in the shade Romantic Rose. I think I got this because I didn't have the e.l.f. one before. So I'm not going to open this just yet. Then I have the Burt's Bees blush. I love this blush. This is one of my favorites in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. It's the perfect warm peachy shade for like my kind of earthy eyeshadow looks. Maybelline V-Face Blush and Contour Powder. My boyfriend gave this to me. Ang effort, diba, binilhan ako ng makeup, so we're keeping that. Essence Satin Touch Blush. Obviously, this needs to go because it's broken. And then this one, I actually love these blushes, but I've had this for forever now, so I might break out if I use it. So let's get rid of that. Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Party. It's kind of rocky na. And I've had this for 3 years now because this is one of the first high-end blushes that I've got, and it was like I think it was a Sephora birthday during my first year in the US. So 3 years na to. Let's let it go. L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Blush. I love this. It has a peach scent and it's just nice to layer on top of my NARS Orgasm blush. So I'm definitely keeping that. And I love how it has like a mirror, full mirror on the other side. Benefit Gold Rush Blush. I actually like this as well, but I feel like these two are very similar. So I might get rid of one. No, I actually need to keep both because I can do like a dupes video, but this one is limited edition, so it's not there anymore. What am I saying? I just want to keep all because I have this. This was actually sent to me by Benefit, the Benefit Gold Rush and the Dandelion Twinkle. So then I purchased the Hula Mini, so I have like minis that I can travel with or keep in my makeup gym bag. So definitely keeping those. These are practically new. These I love. Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Exposed. This is a nice neutral blush for like everyday makeup looks. Tarte highlighter in the shade Exposed. This is also nice, but I don't use it all too often, so I need to get rid of that. I have two liquid blushes. I have a Caroline Jelly Tint, which I actually love. This is super cheap. It's only 150 pesos or $3, and a little goes a long way. And there's lots of bubbles, which freaks me out. I don't know if it expired or not. I don't know. Oh, it says 24 months and I just got this last year, so that's still good. And then I have the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. I love pairing this with my Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon Blush. So that is everything that I'm keeping, and then I'm just letting go of a few other things, not really that much. So let's see if I can keep all of my blushes in one container. Able to keep all my bronzers, blushes, and highlighters all in one little container, and I'm just going to put my powders along with my foundation, and concealers. Wow, I freed up one whole container. And here are the items that I'm adding to my donate pile. Okay, so here we have some liquid eyeshadows and a lot of lipsticks. I definitely need to declutter these lipsticks because some of them I've had for a long time now. So yeah, let's start with the eye products first down here, and then we'll end with the lipsticks. So first I have like different colored eyeliners. All of them are from LA Girl. Yeah, LA Girl, because they were super cheap. I think I got them from like less than $2 each. These are colors that I don't use regularly, so I decided to like get really cheap ones in case I wanted to do some fun colorful looks. So definitely keeping those. Oh, then Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I actually forgot to buy this during the half price sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. So this is for sure like expired, so I'm going to have to declutter this. I love this primer. This is one of the original primers. I haven't really used any other thing aside from like Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow base. This one I truly love. It's only like $5 I think, and this one is like $20. So definitely keeping this because this one is kind of brand new, and then this one I'm decluttering because like I said, it might be expired. I have a glitter primer whenever I work with like glitter eyeshadows, so I just need to keep that. Two liquid liners from NYX. Like I said, I have like some fun colorful liners just for whenever I want to go for that kind of look. And then I have this Catrice Liquid Metal eyeshadow. This is very shimmery. This actually has a really nice formula. As you can see, it's like nice and buttery, but I just don't gravitate toward using this because it is in a single shadow case, but I really love it, so I might just keep that. Then I have this ColourPop single shadow. Like I said, because it is a single shadow, I don't really gravitate toward it, but it has like a really nice formula, so I might have to bring this out and try it. Then I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I also like this, but this is kind of old as well, so definitely letting go of this. Then I have these Stila glitter eyeshadows, which at first I loved, but I just don't use them all too much because I like using palettes, like one and done palettes, so I'm going to have to let this go. Pretty Vulgar eyeliner. I don't really use this. I don't like potted eyeliners. I like felt tip liners, so definitely letting this go as well. Then I have a ton of the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadows. I love this because they're super cheap and I use them for fun, colorful looks. I'm going to put them back here just so that I don't make a mess. Then I have this Cover FX Shimmer Veil. I like the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadows a little bit more, so I'm going to have to declutter this. Then I have this Maybelline Superstay Eraser, which I got when I bought this makeup. I'll pick that up later. But I have this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, which I love. This is in the shade Seductress. So this is why I got this. It's just kind of like for erasing any lampas on your lips. So yeah, definitely keeping those. I actually don't know. This might be expired because I think I got this more than a year ago. But this is one of my favorite lipsticks. So we'll see. Then I have a couple of these Smashbox lipsticks because I got them during the holidays last year. It was from a holiday set. Some of these are brand new. I just swatched these and then I just kept them in my bin. I'll have to declutter this because I really don't use them anymore. I have the ColourPop and Hades lipstick. This is the Villains collection. I don't really gravitate toward it, but I just need to know that it's there so I can use it. But I really love the Luxe lipstick formulas. They're really just comfortable to wear. Then I have a Wet n Wild lipstick. This is in the shade Bare It All. It's a dupe for the MAC Velvet Teddy, which I actually have one of those, but I can't find it. So I'm just gonna let this one go because I don't really use that. I have a ton of Maybelline lipsticks. I have like the Made for All collection, some of their Color Sensational mattes, Shine Compulsion collection, and I really love my Maybelline lipsticks, so I'm just gonna keep them there because I like them for like videos and whatnot. Then I have a Benefit Punch Pop lip gloss. I don't really gravitate toward this, so let's let that go. I have a Celotex lip gloss, which is actually expired, so I'm going to let that go. I have these Makeup Revolution lip toppers, which I used to love until I got the Fenty Beauty Diamond Gloss Bomb, so I will have to let these two go because I usually just use the Fenty Beauty one. Have a Dose of Colors lip gloss. I don't really use this, so I'm going to let that go as well. ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Ipsy. I don't use that, so that's going away. ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Times Square. Keeping that because that is a really nice nude shade. Tortillas Lip Paint in a really fun color, which I don't think I'll use, so I'm going to let that go. ColourPop Villains Ultra Glossy Lip. I don't really use this all too much. I'm going to let that go as well. L'Oreal Rouge Signature Lipsticks. I love these. These are like kind of a tint formula, so I'm going to keep that. They don't dry out my lips. Like I said, they're like a tint formula. They just leave a nice tint to your lips. e.l.f. Modern Metals Lip Gloss. I don't really use this all too much because of the Fenty Beauty, so I have to let this go as well. e.l.f. Liquid Matte Lipstick. Also from the Modern Metals collection. This is more of a warm orange color. Don't really use this, so I'm going to let that go. Wet n Wild Catsuit Liquid Lipsticks. I know the Rebel Rose is kind of brand new because I just got this last year, but I don't really gravitate toward these lipsticks anymore just because I fell in love with original type of lipsticks, like the stick lipsticks, not like liquid lipsticks, so I'm going to have to let these go as well. So I have these ColourPop Lippy Sticks, and I've had this for almost 3 years now, so I think it's time to let them go. Bite Beauty Lipstick. This is kind of brand new. Haven't really used this. I have some Wet n Wild lip liners, so I'm going to have to keep those because I love them. NYX Powder Puff Lippy. Love this for the winter time because it's hydrating, but it's still like in that matte formula. LA Girl Lippify Thylo. Oh, this is the one that you twist up and you can't put back down. I actually haven't used this one. This one I think I used once. I don't really gravitate toward them, so I'm going to let them go. NYX. Oh, this is one of my first liquid lipsticks. NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Monte Carlo. Oh my gosh, this is such a college lipstick. But I think I've had this for over 3 years now, so that's expired. Ofra Cosmetics Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick. It's still in the old packaging, so I'm going to let this go. This is in the shade Verona. I don't really use that all too much. One of my favorites, Kylie Cosmetics Coco collection. This is in the shade Clo Dollar. Love this for a nice neutral lipstick. Too Faced Melted Matte Lipsticks. I love them at first, but like I said, I'm not into like liquid lipsticks anymore, so I'm definitely going to let this go. This is one of my favorite liquid lipsticks. This is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Manila. The fact that the shade is called Manila, it has like a special place in my heart, so I'm going to keep that. So these are all the items that I'm keeping, and oh, I don't want this to fall. Here are all the lipsticks that we're decluttering. Okay, so here we have some of my eyeshadow palettes. I have like this little bin right here. And I think it's time to declutter this because I've had a lot of these for a while, and some of them I don't really use that much. Oh, I forgot. These aren't just eyeshadow palettes. Some of these are like face palettes too. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Anastasia Cream Palette, Cream Contour, Blush, and Highlight Palette. Had this for over 2 years now. Don't really use it that much, so it's time to let it go. Dominique Cosmetics Latte Palette. I really love this. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and this is a palette that I actually can travel with. I'm going to keep this, and I love Kristen Dominique, so I'm definitely keeping this because it's kind of like a collector's item for me. Next, we have my Anastasia palettes. Definitely not decluttering these because I am also collecting Anastasia palettes, at least the ones that I like. I love the Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, and then the Sultry I actually just got. This I got for like $27. I know I got this on sale as well. This was the only full price purchase that I got from like the Anastasia, but I love these palettes just because they're really beginner friendly. The shades are super easy to work with. Do note there's a lot of kickback, a lot of fallout, so whenever I use these palettes, I make sure that I apply eyeshadow first prior to using foundation. Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I love this, but this is definitely expired. This is one of my first few palettes, so I don't know if I want to keep it just for like as a collection. I might actually just keep that just for the sake of it because it's one of my first ones. Too Faced Gingerbread Spice. I don't really have any other Too Faced eyeshadow palettes here, and I actually love this kind of more holiday look, and I love the shimmer right here, the Spiked Eggnog, so I actually am keeping that. Next, we have the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes. I actually like this, but I don't use them as often as I thought I would, so I might actually just let this go along with bigger palette because I like it, but I have the James Charles palette and I feel like that actually, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think I want to get rid of this, but I also like the shades in this palette. The James Charles one is more of a rainbow palette, which I actually just got the new L40 palette to compare with this one. So I might keep these just for that video and then decide afterward. Then I have this Pat McGrath Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette. This is just the 6-pan palette because I cannot pay full price for the 12-pan palette. It's $125. This one I got on sale from Sephora. It's originally $55. It was on sale for $27, and I actually like it for like more easy everyday looks. The only problem I have with this is the fact that it doesn't have a nice transition shade, so I usually dip on the e.l.f. Modern Metals palette. I love— ow! Uh-oh, shoot. But I still love it. I'm actually so sad that it's a limited edition palette because I love every color in this palette. The formula is also pretty good for a drugstore palette. Then I have the Milani Gilded Desires palette. I also like this. I actually decluttered my— I think it was the Neutrals one. This one I love these shimmers. I don't use them for highlight though. I just use them as shimmer for my eyeshadow. Then I have the Desi and Katie Friendcation palette from Dose of Colors. Definitely keeping that. Adeline Morin and Tarte, keeping that collaboration palette as well because those are just my collection. Alamar Cosmetics. This is actually a very beautiful formula. I just don't really gravitate toward this palette because I don't know if I can create like a one palette look using this, so I might have to let this go. But I really love this, so I'm kind of having doubts, but you know, I have all these other palettes that I can actually work with. ColourPop Villains Misunderstood palette. I did like this, but I won't use this regularly. I will be able to use like the neutral shades. I don't know, I'm kind of like on the edge with that. ColourPop My Little Pony. I don't use this regularly as well, so I might have to let that go. Melissa Michelle and Ulta Beauty collaboration. I broke that little highlighter right there, but you know, it's Melissa Michelle, so I'm going to keep that. I don't use it, but it's like a collection since it is a collaboration, especially since Melissa Michelle is Filipino, so I'm going to keep that. The Warrior by Juvia's. I actually like this, but I don't use it all too often. It's a nice neutral palette, but I don't really use it that much, so I might actually have to let go of this. BH Cosmetics Love in London palette. I love this palette as well. It has a good formula, good shade range, but I don't use it too much just because I loved my high-end palettes, so I'm going to have to let this go, but it doesn't mean I didn't like it, okay? Blushing and Bally palette. Love this blush palette, so I'm keeping that. Morphe and Bretman Rock Babe in Paradise, one of the first collaborations that I bought. Of course, Bretman Rock is Filipino, so definitely keeping that. Tarte's Pro Glow Face palette. I love this, but I don't think I need another face palette, and this is kind of heavy as well, so I might have to let this go. Hourglass, what's this? Unlocked Edit palette. Love this. Got this last year for during the holidays, so I'm definitely keeping that. LA Girl Get Feverish eyeshadow palette. Love this for like a neutral look. I think this is my dupe for my Modern Renaissance palette, or like my Soft Glam palette. I love the formula. It doesn't have that much fallout, so definitely keeping that. That's a good drugstore eyeshadow. Becca, oh, I got this on sale. It's all shimmers. I usually use this palette for like my inner corner, so I'm going to keep that. But I've had this for forever, so I don't know. Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. This actually has a nice formula as well, but like I said, I have so many other palettes that have the same color, so I'm going to let go of this. Catrice Cosmetics Paradise Desert. This is a collaboration with the Fashion Freak. I don't really watch her. I just got this out of the whim. Wanted to try it. It has a kind of that rainbow colors as well, so I might actually keep this and like do a video of all like the different rainbow palettes that I have, and then after that decide if I want to keep it or let it go. Flower Beauty highlighter palette. This is actually a nice highlighter. It's a nice wet sheen formula, so I'm going to keep that. Elf Modern Metals blush and highlight palette. These are a little too dark for me, so I'm going to let that go. Tartelette palette. I love this. This is one of my favorite palettes. I've had this for over 3 years now. I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of it. I'm going to keep it just for reminiscing purposes, or do I want to let go? Okay, fine, I'll let go of this. Maybelline Soda Pop. I used this for a video, and then after that I just really didn't use it anymore, so I'm going to let that go before it expires. This is one of my favorite blush palettes. This is the NARS like Heartbreaker palette. This was from Holiday 2018, and I love it because of this luster shade, which is a nice neutral color, and then a pop of pink with the Orgasm and Armor. I also love the detail on the packaging. Because it looks super duper cool. Violet Voss Creme Brulee Fun Size palette. This is a nice palette for traveling because it's super small, but it has all the colors that you need. Sonia Kashuk Cheeky palette. It used to have a blush right there, and I love this highlighter and bronzer, but then the blush broke, so I didn't really use it that much, and I've had this for more than 3 years now. Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshell Squad. I like it, but I think it's a little too light for my skin tone. Then I have all my Wet n Wild palettes. To be honest, I love these, but I feel like I've used them way too much on my channel. Since these are staples from Wet n Wild, I can always use them on like makeup videos and whatnot, and I will have no problem with linking them because they're always available, so I will definitely keep those. Celotex Longwear Eyeshadow Palette. This is actually already expired too, but I love this transition shade right here. I love it for my skin tone, but the fact that it's already expired, I need to let it go. Huda Beauty Mob Obsessions Palette. Love this too. I actually only use like 3 shades in this palette, this, and this, so I need to actually explore the other shades. So yeah, time to bring everything back. So this is everything that I'm keeping, and these are items that I'm going to let go.